Hey G Squad, welcome back to an episode of Is It Worth It? So for today's episode, this cool middle right here, and basically what this is an elevated pet bed, and this is from the brand called Bedshear. So this is basically like a pet bed, but it's elevated just a little bit, so that way it actually stays off the ground. It's just that way when your pets sleep on it, or actually lay on it, it's not like super hot compared to the ground, because usually the ground is pretty hot from the sunlight and everything. So definitely having an elevated pet bed is pretty nice, especially since the material that they use on here for the actual bed itself is mesh material. But first thing first, I'm actually open the product to show you guys what's included inside first. Alright, so when you guys first open up, you can definitely see there's a lot of different parts on here, and definitely have a bunch of these heavy bars inside. I believe the material on here is like steel material, and the bottom part right here where the feet is, I believe it's like a rubber material to give you guys that like non-slip design. So I'm actually take everything out to show you guys what it actually looks like first. So here is the first part. They provide guys two of these bars right here. Here is the next one, and they labeled D on here, so that way you guys know which part to install where if you guys follow the instructions. And then here is the next one right here, and this one is labeled C. And then here is the next one, and this one's labeled E. And here are the last bars right here. So they provide guys two more of these right here. And it looks like these are basically the same one as the first one that I showed you guys. And then last but not least, they provide you guys a bunch of stuff here as well. So right here, they provide guys an instruction manual to teach you guys how to set a product and how to use it. And then inside this part right here, and then inside right here, they provide guys all the accessories and the tools that you need to use to install the product. And right here, the mesh fabric right here, that is basically the bed itself. So I'm actually open this up. So right out the bat right here, you see they do have the logo right here. But when you guys open it up, this is basically what the product looks like once you guys open it up. If you can see, it definitely has that like mesh material on here that's see-through. And because it is a mesh material right here, it definitely has like that breathable option when you guys set it up. And once you guys feel like the mesh material on here actually feels pretty nice as well. It definitely feels pretty cool when you guys feel it right here. But that is basically everything that's included in the package. Let me actually go set this up to show you guys how to install it first. And then we'll show you guys how it should look like when you guys put your pet on here. And we'll come back and talk more about the product in a second. Alright, so we got everything all set right here. Let me actually start installing it to show you guys what the product looks like and how to install it. So first thing I'm going to do is open up the actual fabric right here first. Alright, so once you guys open the fabric right here, you can start setting it up. But definitely see how big the fabric is right here for the large one that we have right here. So first thing I'm going to do is open up the D and E right here first and then put it together. Alright, so basically I want to stick E and D together like this. And that will be the first side later on. Once you guys finish that part, you guys can work on the next part right here. So basically want to get C right here and attach it in the middle between the B's right here, which are the curved ones right here. So you basically want to stick it inside right here, and the other side you want to stick it right here. And you basically want to do the same thing for the other one as well. And we see the bar right here is labeled inside. So you definitely want to make sure all of them say inside. So for those two right now, it doesn't say inside, so I need to flip those two over. Alright, so now we got all of them saying inside. So we start installing inside the actual fabric right here. So you basically want to slide it inside right here. Make sure it goes all the way in. And you basically want to do the same thing for all these other bars here as well. Alright, so once you guys got all the bars inside right here, you guys can actually start elevating it and actually screw in the screws. So there's a total of 4 of them. So one right here, one right there, one right here, and one right here. So basically want to put the screws inside right here, and it goes through the other bar that we have on this side right here. And then once you guys got it in, you guys can start screwing in. You can basically use a hand to screw it in as close as possible before you guys use the accessory right here. Alright, so we just finished setting up one of them. You basically want to do the same thing for all of them. Alright, so once you guys finish installing the pet bed right here, or the elevated pet bed, you can see that this is basically what it actually looks like. So when you try to move the bed on here, it still moves a little bit, but obviously it doesn't move as much as without actual non-slip material in the bottom. So definitely having that non-slip material in the bottom definitely does help. But definitely when you pet go on top right here, it definitely has a good amount of support on here. So all they need to do is just hop on top of this right here and just sleep on here if they want to. It definitely have like that cooling effect on here when you guys actually feel it. And if you guys want to lean against the wall or something, you can definitely do that. But this is basically what the product looks like on this side. If you flip it to the other side, this is basically what the bottom part looks like. So this part right here and that part right there and those part right there is where we actually slide the bar inside, if you can see. But this is basically what the product looks like once you guys fully assemble it. So let's actually test it out and see how it works. Alright, so you see when I actually get on top of right here, it definitely has good enough support to actually support my weight right here. So obviously you do not want to actually go on here if you guys are above the weight limit. But I just want to show you guys how strong the actual product is, even though you guys are above the weight limit. But definitely the mesh material on here is actually really strong. Alright, so we got our pet bed set right here. Let me show you guys how it works. Alright, so you see the product definitely does work. If you can see, it's pretty big. So if you guys want to fit 2 dogs on here, you probably can. But if you guys want to put one on here, you can see how big is it. and we have a small dog right here. Alright, so see when we actually put two dogs on here, it definitely does work. It's definitely very spacious, if you see right here. And it's elevated just a little bit, so that way it actually has like that cooling effect for your dogs. So that way it's not touching the ground, which is pretty nice. But you see, this is basically what the product looks like once you guys set it all up. Alright, welcome back guys. So now this whole quick test of the product, definitely see that actually does work. Actually works quite well. Should be easy to install the product if you guys follow all the instructions correctly. But see, once you actually finish setting up the product, it definitely looks pretty nice. The overall pet bed itself is actually elevated by 8 inches, which is definitely more than enough space for the pet to actually relax and get on it. And this works perfectly for like both big dogs and small dogs. I can totally see how this works perfectly during like the summer day when it's actually pretty hot. So that way your pet can actually go on top right here and stay a little bit cooler instead of touching the ground. And also for this part right here, you can definitely use it indoor or outdoor. But that is basically everything that's on the product. Now to unboxing and testing the product. Now to answer the question of whether or not it's actually worth it or not. So for this product, I would definitely have to say that it is pretty worth it if you guys want one or need one of these. And especially trying to look for an elevated pet bed for your dogs, your cats, or whatever. So that way your pet actually goes on it. You don't have to worry about it being too hot or anything, which is totally perfect during like the hotter days like summertime. But then obviously for those of you guys who don't want or don't need one or have one of these, then obviously don't buy one and save your money for something else that actually do need. So that's basically everything for this video itself. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button in the bottom. That will definitely help this video out, and it will definitely help with the algorithm as well to promote more videos for you guys so you guys can see more of the videos or similar videos as well. But as always, make sure to stay positive, be you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode of Is It Worth It? Peace.